I have to admit, though, sometimes we ridicule things that are presented on the show. And every once in a while, it's pretty rare, I'll admit, but every once in a while, Lewis, some of those things turn out to be true. And I have to say, I will be the first to admit that when it happens. And it has been called to my attention that Glenn Beck, who said the following, may have actually been right. This is shocking, I know. Let me play for you the clip of Glenn Beck, and then I'll explain to you what we got wrong.
America, it is time we turn the security state against itself. What you're asking for, you can get, Congressman. What is being built in Utah is the largest storage facility ever known to mankind. They are storing all of the information. They have already admitted during the Boston bombings that they collect all emails. And
okay, let's stop it right there. We kind of ridiculed that and said, well, we don't really know if that exists or if it doesn't. I received the following voicemail, and I will play that for you and then continue the investigation.
Hey, David, Lewis. On Friday's May 23rd podcast, you had something about Glenn Beck, and you're going to get to a part where he talks about how the country is being raped. And unfortunately, you had a little technical difficulty and didn't get to the juicy part. But unfortunately, the part you did play, where he talks and you kind of mock him for being hyperbolic about the NSA building a giant data collection server out in Utah, actually was reported by Wired.com and the New York Times.
All right, so we looked into that. It is true. Wired magazine does have an article, March 15th, 2012, by James Bamford. It is, the NSA is building the country's biggest spy center. Watch what you say. And it does talk about this blandly named Utah data center being built for the National Security Agency, a lot of security around it, secrecy around it. And the idea is that this is where world communications will be analyzed. We've talked a lot, Lewis, about keywords that are parsed out of all sorts of electronic communication, and that it should be up and running by September of 2013, so it is not yet up and running. So let's clarify. I was wrong to blow the idea off completely. It turns out that by reasonable standards of reporting, there is a data center that is being built. It is not yet active, according to that same Wired magazine article that was mentioned in the voicemail. We don't know, however, that senators can just call up and get all the emails sent from Louis Motamedi to whoever it may be. That is absolutely not apparent. So yes, it's true. The data center does exist. However, I still maintain that all of the conspiratorial kind of conclusions that Glenn Beck has drawn from it, certainly we don't have evidence for, if nothing else.
Right. We don't really know what's going to be in there. I mean, it's already safe to assume that the government has been collecting all sorts of data on any number of citizens and keeping it in various places.
Whether it's happening in Utah or not is not really the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is whether, as Glenn Beck suggests, why do we really need investigations when the NSA has every moving we could just go and look it up? Mm-hmm. On today's bonus show, Chinese hacking continues, moving on from moving on to weapons and hacking into weapons plans and all sorts of stuff. Also, we'll talk about some pay-per-minute cafes. What do you think about a pay-per-minute cafe? And we will also preview a bunch more Hatriot Mail segments on the bonus show. So we're going to be releasing them one by one on the show, but we're going to preview a bunch of them on today's bonus show. Sign up on our website, davidpakman.com/membership. We'll be back after this. A lot happening on today's show, Lewis. Stay with us.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.